And here in the home page, I'm going to put like a little bit of my history, but I'm going to edit that later. And here I have my I believe statement. And then I have in another page my lesson plans, because I have done two. So the first one and the one that I have the video is the horse snake lesson plan. And this one we just read from the book that they are reading, and I did a timeline. And I showed a picture of a snake and the place where the story was the story was taking place. So this one was the first slide, and it was the picture of the snake. And then the next one was the one of the setting, and I didn't know about Google Earth, so I just put the map. Because when I did the lesson, I didn't know that.
Yeah, but that would be neat to include.
So I explained the setting, and then we did a timeline, all the different events were over on the top of the screen. And as we read, they were putting the events on the timeline. So
nice.
This was the thing I used for my lesson. And here's my video. I also, like Colleen did, I struggled to upload it to YouTube.
But now that you've done it once, the next time it'll be easier.
Yeah.
So you want us to upload them to YouTube?
Not necessarily. If you're in, but it just depends on what you feel like doing. My opinion right now is that you're going to have to do it anyway for 201. And so I don't want people to have to do the work twice. However, the compression standard for the DDP is not as high quality as what's currently available on YouTube. So if you want it to look better, if it needs to be assessed by your 201 instructor, then it's important that it be there linked in the DDP. But in terms of a longer range, representation of your teaching that will work nicely and look good, I wish that we could say that the DDP's quality was comparable, but it's not at this point. So for these purposes, and especially since it's so easy to link YouTube videos to Weebly's, I'm fine. I mean, you could potentially do both, but if you don't want to do both, doing the DDP is fine.
And first I asked the students to think about words to describe the snake. Okay. So we are going to start by reading. We are going to start this way. And each one of you is going to read 2 paragraphs. After each one reads the paragraph,
what grade is it?
6. And if we are going to do a timer, we are going to fill out the timer on the screen. And first, I wanted to tell you about the setting of story. You know what setting is? Yeah. What is it? Where the story takes place. Okay, so it's going to take place right here. You know what continent is? Asia. And the story is going to take place here. And yeah. And the timeline looks like this. Can you see what is over here? What is it? And it was a small group of 4.
So Fabi, if you want, we could, since this is online now, we can actually see it later. But what did you notice about your students' learning? How did the technology seem to support what they learned?
Since they wanted to go up to the screen and move the timeline, they were putting more attention to the reading.
Nice. Yeah, that's a good point. That they knew, I mean, because you shared the timeline up front and that you went through all of those points, they were sort of primed to be able to listen for those things while they were reading. I thought that was a nice strategy. What were some other things that you noticed about the use of technology?
Well, I think they don't use it as much. So there's there was a student that didn't know how to move the. She couldn't move one of the events on the timeline, so she kind of got frustrated, and then another student helped her.
That's nice. Have the students help each other, because that's going to happen too. Kids are going to be frustrated. Teacher colleagues might be frustrated. You know, it's like, and it's our job to help people move beyond that and not give up. Are there other things that you would like to share of what you did with them today, or?
No.
Okay. First of all, what are some appreciations, insights? Yeah, Natalie.
I really liked how you started off. I thought that was a good intro to get them thinking about it. You know, what do you think about this picture? What are some words that describe the snake? I thought that was a great way to kick off the lesson.
And it's a pretty engaging picture. I think I heard even some whispers among the younger folk around that. Yeah? Did you think that snake was cool looking?
I wasn't saying anything. I was writing.
Oh, you were writing. Okay. My apologies. Other appreciations for Fabiola?
I enjoyed your timeline.
Thank you.
A lot. Did you make that like by scratch or okay?
Nice. Yeah, Caitlin.
I liked how they were able to, as they were reading the story, they could kind of in their mind be like, okay, that would go there. So they kind of gave them a head start, especially for those who may not get there as fast. The story kind of gave them a starting point. So that everyone was starting at the same point, and the story gave them time to formulate where each of those pieces went.